My next guest has dedicated her life to helping people find resilience, even amidst the most devastating moments of their lives, and she and her family would know. At the age of 20, Kate Gladdin lost her sister, Nicole Fitz, who at the time was living out her dream as a sports journalist. She actually worked with me on The Footy Show, and she was just the most vivacious, bright, beautiful, talented woman you will ever meet. Her life, though, was tragically taken in a motorbike accident whilst holidaying in Thailand. Since then, Kate and her family has started the Nicole Fitz Foundation to raise awareness of travel safety overseas among young Australian tourists, which of course feels all too relevant now since the tragic news of Bianca Jones and Holly Bell's death in Thailand. I thought of this family straight away, in fact. Now, Kate's also just released a new book called OK, Now What? And I'm so pleased to say that she joins me now. I want to get her take on current issues a little bit later, but Kate, first of all, always so lovely to see you.
Thank you again, Erin. You've been a shining light for my family for many years, so thank you.
Before we get into what you've just done, which is phenomenal, I'd love you to tell me and my audience how you got here.
Yes, well, unfortunately, recent events in the news hit very close to home with the tragic death of tourists with the methanol poisoning over in Laos. But unfortunately, my family had a somewhat similar, unthinkable experience with the death of my beautiful big sister, Nicole, up here, on the holiday of a lifetime over in Thailand with her boyfriend. And then we tragically lost her, that unthinkable phone call at 3:37 on the 20th of October 2012, that she was killed in a motorbike accident in Thailand. She wasn't wearing a helmet, something she never would have done back in Australia. But, we tend to kind of think we're invincible and carefree when we're overseas. But yeah, that's kind of what put my family on this journey that we're now on and establishing her foundation, the Nicole Fitz Foundation.
What would you say to the families of those beautiful young girls who have lost their lives over in Laos? I can't imagine you would ever heal going through what they're about to go through, let alone what you've gone through as well. But can you give them any comfort?
Well, I must say I just read a statement by Bianca Jones's dad that he said, I'm not going to let the death of my daughter not do something to protect other people. And I think that's the exact way to focus on it. We can't go in and control and change these countries, but we can control and change the attitudes that people take to these countries and what they're aware of. So I think it's not trying to find positive in the fact that they've died, but if you can look for the lessons to create purpose, to ensure their legacy lives on. And, the only thing deeper than the pain is the love that we will forever have for those that pass too soon. So hold on to the love, keep looking for the lessons and creating purpose so we do not let these things make us bitter.
You've now dedicated so much of your life to saving other people from going through a similar fate. You had this incredible high-end corporate job. You were a baby at the time. Why did this work matter more to you, and particularly at such a young age?
Gosh, because I know, I would have moved heaven and earth to save Nicole's life. So why not do something to save someone else's in her honor? Because that's another life that has a family, that has a friend, that has a future that they deserve to live. And had my sister known about these facts and statistics, just how dangerous the roads are over there, that you're 8.5 times more likely to, end up in a road accident in Southeast Asia than Australia, she would have rethought her decisions. And I think that's what gave me that ignited my purpose to do the crazy thing. And there's a lot of people thought it was to leave the corporate job, but I thought it was crazy to sit back and not try to create change and do something to help save others from what we've been through.
A lot of people, not just in this country, but all over the world, particularly older people, lament a lack of resilience in young people these days. And I think there's a fair element of truth to that, not necessarily their fault, but they're quite sheltered. What would you say to parents and to kids in terms of how to build up your resilience? No one wants to go through what you had to go through to become as resilient as you are. But in your book, what do you tell people about making themselves stronger?
Because we live we're all human, and we live in a world that is unpredictable and is filled with adversity and honestly is unfair. And we can sit back and complain about that and blame other people, or we have a different choice, which is what I'd say, to take control of your responsibility, your ability to choose your response, to control your perspective, to understand all of us have hard things going on in our lives, whether we see it or not. And I think we're distorted these days with social media, seeing the highlight reels, that sometimes we do think we are alone. But I learned so much after Nicole passed away, when I was determined to live again in her honor, about, the power of living in your response and finding, not just looking for the silver lining in what you're going through, but using your two hands to create it yourself and be the good thing that happens to your circumstances.
I love that. That's so beautifully put. Don't look for that silver lining, you create it yourself. Now, before we go, pick up that book behind you, give it a very good plug, because I know this will not only help people immensely, but it will save lives. And tell us where we can get it.
Thank you so much, Erin. So, Okay Now What is available on my website, kategladdin.com. That's Gladden with an I. You'll find links to it on there. I also have the audio book. I narrated it, so if you like to drive and listen, you can enjoy that. I also have a podcast by the same name, Okay Now What. So if you're ready for you and also your young adult child to become more resilient, I'd love for you to check this book out.
You are incredible, Kate. Your whole family is. Julie and Vince, just incredible people. Lots of love to you all. Thank you for everything you are doing for generations to come. Love you.
Mwah! Love you, Erin.